when you're looking online, it can be a real rabbit hole of all sorts of crazy contradictory information. And
cross-checking what I can remember from the consultation room with advice on the internet from other abortion clinics and charities. Do not use bubble baths or bath salts for at least 3 weeks after the treatment. No bathing for 48 hours. We advise that you avoid any heavy lifting or exercise for 2 to 3 weeks. Take 2 paracetamol and 2 ibuprofen before your second appointment. Do not take any paracetamol or ibuprofen before your second appointment. Your breasts may feel firm or tender or leak after your procedure. We recommend you have someone stay with you overnight. No sex for 2 weeks. Refrain from sexual intercourse for 3 weeks after the treatment. Once you feel sufficiently recovered, you can return to having sex. It's important to use contraception immediately after the procedure if you don't want to get pregnant again. It is inadvisable for you to change your mind once the first tablet has been taken. After an abortion, most women feel relieved, but some may feel sad or guilty. Go to the hospital if you pass something larger than an orange.
Abortion is illegal in terms of laws and policies. We do have something, however, called the MR, which is called menstrual regulation, which basically means the same thing. When there is, it is acceptable enough that there is sex before marriage. That is not talked about. We are in constant denial that it happens in Bangladesh. And so for young women to access abortion becomes ironic, beshi difficult, but the number of women, আমার exact statistics মনে নাই, but Google করলে পাওয়া যাবে, it's huge, the number of young women who have to access abortion, but they have to do it through back alleys because সামনাসামনি গিয়ে একটা হসপিটালে গিয়ে তো করতে পারবে না। Legally দেখতে গেলে there's a penal code under it, I think section 312 to 316, কয়েকটা particular acts আছে যেখানে বলা হয় যে key punishment for a woman who tries to get an abortion and anyone who supports her. And in certain circumstances, abortion or miscarriage synonymously used kora. And it basically means the same thing under law, which is, again, an issue.
Person like, okay, do you know anyone? If you know a girl who did it, can you tell them to call me? That's so messed up.
How they project their displeasure onto you, right? Like their own personal feelings onto you.
I do say, are you sure? Is your husband aware? Are your parents aware? Are you taking this decision by yourself? Are you sure you're not going to regret it? And I've also heard people say that they actually specifically say in some clinics that you won't be able to conceive again. About girl children, right? So sex selective abortions where female fetuses are aborted, that is also a phenomenon that is quite persistent in South.
Like I grew up here, and even though I feel I'm pretty open-minded, I still feel Amar Peter a lot just to bring this up with people I know and people I've grown up with.
MR, menstrual regulation, what does that mean?
Exactly.
Who is going to understand? No one.
They don't use the term abortion or MR. They use the term bacha noshto kora.
The nurse is shielding the checklist. We have reached an impasse. I want her to tell me what to say. I try to speak slowly and clearly. I believe very strongly that there would be serious lasting repercussions to my mental health in the short and long term if I were to carry the pregnancy to term. I feel that I would be at a great risk to myself if I had to continue the pregnancy. I think I would experience extreme mental distress and would hurt myself if I were unable to have an abortion. I finally admitted it. Disbelief becomes anger. I wipe my face and sit up straight.
Thank you so much. So, yeah, I suppose there needs to be more somehow calling out of the gynecologists or calling out of the services, and for each and every woman to be a little bit more bitchy, perhaps, and yeah, it's a tough thing, right? Because when your culture, there's all these cultural things within it that hold you back. But it's always really great to get hope from certain actors where they're, no, it's okay. There's hope, there's light, there's people to learn from. And just invitation to each of you, maybe have a conversation with somebody about this topic, and maybe slowly through the small conversations and creating these spaces, we can start to normalize this topic that affects everybody.